Hey guys, how's it going? This is David from ConmanRDW here, and I am at Anime Magic 2022, and I'm interviewing the great Jonah Scott.
Great. Okay, I'm the great Scott now.
The great Scott, yes. And also, I love the shirt.
Thank you so much. You got a rep,
character.
you know?
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
available at Hot Topic. I'm not chilling, I promise. It's just
Hashtag free brand.
Yeah.
Thank you, Funimation.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about. Let's just jump right
yeah.
into that. That's like, would you say that's one of your biggest roles in the last few years, or?
For sure, yeah. There's I would, maybe 3 or 4 would be pretty big. I voice 3 of the main characters in Netflix anime dubs.
Oh yeah.
I voice Johnny Bolt in Super Crooks. I voice Tatsu the House Husband in Way of the House Husband.
That's a great one, yeah.
And Lego Sheep. So that's 3 big Netflix voice. Those are probably some of my biggest ones. I do a lot of video games too. I play the main character in Dying Light 2.
Yeah, Aiden, yeah. I was actually playing that recently.
Oh,
and
awesome, man.
I checked the IMDb for you, and I was like, no
Yeah,
way.
that's me, man.
Same dude.
For 6 years, that was me.
For 6 years.
Yeah,
There's a lot of dialogue.
Yeah.
There's a lot of dialogue.
A lot of dialogue.
So since you do voice for both games
Right.
and anime, do you find that you tend to gravitate more towards certain mediums? Like, do you like doing dubs for video game characters or anime?
Yeah. A lot of people don't know, first of all, a lot of your favorite games aren't made in the United States. A lot of your favorite games are made abroad in places like Poland, France, China, Japan, obviously, and they need localization. So people would be surprised to know that Dying Light 2 was a dub. Dying Light 2 was recorded and completely produced in Polish.
Oh, wow.
And there's a lot of similarities between the two, like doing ADR for anime and doing video game work. But I moved to LA to do game work, to be a game voice actor. The anime just kind of came as a, here you go,
Just
this is a
happenstance,
fun thing. And I've latched onto it. I absolutely love doing anime and video games, but I feel like if I were given the option between taking an anime project and a video game project, weighing them in my hand, I might pick the video game project over the anime one. But
I remember
it'd have to be a tough choice.
I remember earlier this year, Dying Light 2 put out put out a thing on Twitter. They were like, there's like 1 million words of dialogue in this game.
Oh yeah, but there's 1 million words of dialogue in any game that's spoken.
Yeah.
The scripts for a video game are very thick. It's incredible. I think there was a viral image a while ago of the script for GTA 5.
Oh,
And the script for Grand Theft Auto 5 was like 6 inches thick. It was insane. So yeah, and sometimes game companies like to be hyperbolic about things. And one of the things that Techland said was like, oh, it takes 500 hours to beat this game, and then everyone's like, okay, you just throw filler and that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's a pretty big game. There is a lot of dialogue in Dying Light 2 because you have the choice within that game. You can go down certain paths that there are certain characters you may not even see.
One thing I do want to touch on regarding Dying Light 2, actually.
Sure, yeah.
When I was playing the game at first, because I played the first one, and I think Roger Craig Smith voiced the first character.
Great game.
And then before I looked it up, I was like, is he doing this character? No, it sounds different. So I was like, has anyone ever, or is it like offensive to voice actors? Or
It's
like, you
not
sound like this
offensive.
person.
I feel like it would be in poor taste to say it to their face, but it's not offensive, no. And if anything, some voice actors would see it as a compliment because those are the people that we look up to. Roger Craig Smith was an absolute gentleman and class act when people started tagging him on Twitter and everything. He's like, no, it's not me, it's this guy, and he sounds great because he sounds like me. And so that's a very Roger thing to do, but he's very, very, very cool guy. And if you haven't seen Roger Craig Smith's astrophotography, you should check it out.
I didn't even know he did that.
He does deep space astrophotography. I think he lives in Idaho or something like that.
Like the giant NASA mega telescope.
Yeah. And I mean, you got to live out there in the middle of nowhere to do that kind of thing because the light pollution in LA would be impossible. But I get people throwing names out, and it's just, it's another baritone voice actor. It's Matthew Mercer, it's Troy Baker, it's Roger Craig Smith.
Yeah.
There's several of us. There's people like Ray Chase. There are people like me. There are people like Sean Chiplock who can get to that range and have a pretty good character in there. So it's just do some research. Learn more than 3 voice actors.
For sure, yeah. And then in regards to the fall that happened back in 2020, how was that for you in regards to your career and also just like things you were doing in your free time as well? Because I know a lot of voice actors, they had to start making that at-home rigs and stuff like that, and also...
Well, the good part about that for me is that I have been doing the work that I do from home my entire life. I never really had a studio. Going into a studio was kind of a treat for me. So I was able to pretty easily segue with a few, you know, bells and whistles that I had to tag on and a few more things in the signal chain that I had to add and tiny tweaks that I had to do. I still record everything. I recorded Attack on Titan in a closet. Like, I recorded a bunch of major video games from my closet. And nobody has had any complaints yet. But COVID's been great for... I know that sounds really terrible, but COVID has been good for the voice acting industry because it has... It was healthy for the voice acting industry because it gave opportunities for people across not only the United States but in other nations, you know, people in Canada and in England, to do dubs for the United States. I wouldn't be in any of the Funimation shows that I was in if it wasn't for them opening up those doors and letting people come in and saying, it's okay, the pool's open, like, come on in, guys, it's fantastic. Since then, things have kind of slowed down since they've, you know, opened up their new studio and they're trying to get back to a baseline of where they were before the pandemic, so you may not be seeing as many LA actors in Funimation dubs, but they have their own reasons for that, and well, I'll let them speak for themselves.
Okay.
But yeah.
Awesome.
COVID's been we stayed inside. I think everybody stayed inside.
Binging and watching a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I watched a lot of stuff. I watched Breaking Bad for the first time over COVID.
Oh, that's
you know, one of the best shows I've ever seen. I watched a lot of anime, watched a lot of video games, played a lot of video games.
Depending on what you're playing.
Yeah, depending on what you're playing the Quarry or something, you watch a lot of video games. But yeah, it was a media frenzy. I developed my streaming career a little bit more over COVID as well. There was more people inside, so more people came to see my streams. As long as I didn't go outside, it was all right.
Actually, talking on your streaming thing really quick, since you're the type of voice actor where I think a lot of people really like people like you because you're kind of jokey with it. Because I've seen some TikToks, So I've seen some TikToks where you had like a Legoshi mask.
Oh yeah.
And you like on stream have the
you don't want to like use.
Don't want to use the voice out of context.
Right. Well, you can use the voice however you want. It's your voice, but I wanted to, you know, I grew up in fandom. I love fandom. Fandom is, I mean, I love engaging in it. I know the cosplays. Like I came to conventions much like this every year, 4 or 5 times a year. So being a guest is just kind of like, you know, oh, we'll pay for your hotel. Cool, awesome, sweet. Now I'm just gonna go to a convention for free. It's pretty sweet. I love participating in fandom. I love, you know, giving people voice recordings and all kinds of crazy stuff, in-jokes, stuff like that. I get it. I'm a fan.
It's awesome. Yeah.
And I love being.
It's great when like basically the fans make their way into the industry.
Ascended fanboy. I think is the trope.
you got the back way in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's it.
But yeah, I think that's pretty much good for our talk right now.
Sure.
Appreciate you so much for sitting here with me talking.
So much, man.
Yeah. For anyone who wants to follow you on your socials, where can people find you?
I'm on Twitter at I'm Mr. Transistor.
I was not looking up that Twitter correctly.
Yeah, I know, it's hard. It's at I am MR Transistor. And then I'm on Twitch at twitch.tv/Jonah Scoot. 2 O's, not 2 T's.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Thank you for the time. And I hope you have a great rest of your con weekend.
You too, man.
And I will see you guys on the next video. Bye-bye.